welcome to MandoBug Crafts, episode 54. I knew it was either 53 or 54, I couldn't remember. Good thing there's show notes, right? Hello everybody, I'm MandoBug, but you can call me Amanda if you want. You can find me on the web, it's MandoBug, Ravelry, Instagram, other stuff too. You can just Google me, really. Welcome, new viewers. Thank you for taking time out of your day to check out my podcast, and thank you for coming back, returning viewers. I love interacting with you guys when I do record. So let's start the show out with something I've learned. So finally, thank goodness, I learned how to do this rounded toe, rounded heel. It's a rounded heel from the toe up. So normally the rounded heel is knit from the top down. It's the traditional heel where you do the heel flap and the increases and the gusset, and it's the one with the heel flap. Well, you can do that from the toe up, and I've never done that before, and that was in the sock pattern, and it was blowing my mind. So finally I got it down. So you may remember the last time that I recorded these socks. So these socks are the Lou Cookie Mystery sock knit along, and the clue's been out for a while, so I'm just gonna go ahead and share it because I don't think it's a mystery anymore. But I just got the heel done. So I don't know if you guys remember that I was having issues last time, and it probably took me 5 times total to figure it out. And I found out what the problem was. In the pattern it says on to repeat row 3 and 4, and row 3 and 4 in the instructions have specific numbers in them, and to do this kind of a heel, that number should be getting smaller by 1 each row that you continue through. But I kept doing the exact same number over and over again because that's what the pattern said to do. And so instead of getting my short rows, instead of like doing the short rows the way that they're supposed to be done, they kept being done in the same place over and over again. So it just was turning out really weird, and so luckily I had my sock knitting masterclass book to look up what kind of heel this was, and then try to figure out what I was doing wrong, and that was what I was doing wrong. So I finally got this heel done, and I'm interested to see how it wears once I get the sock knit, since I've never done this kind of heel before. So I'm knitting this sock on US size 0s, magic loop. This is what the front looks like. It's got some textural stitches and this cable pattern up the side. And this is my left sock. The right sock is reverse. It's not reverse, but you know what I mean? So the cable being on the outside of your left foot, it's on the outside of your right foot. So they're mirrored, I guess you could say. And I'm knitting this out of Dizzy Blonde's Superwash sock in the Tequila Sunrise colorway. So I'm glad I just got past the heel today, and I'm super happy to be past the heel because I'm ready to start the leg and then start the second sock. By the way, I don't know what the camera picks up as far as sound goes, so you might hear Emily in the background. She's with Josh right now being entertained, so sometimes she gets a little vocal about her needs. She might cry a little bit because she doesn't want to be held that way, and I don't know if the camera's going to be picking that up, so I apologize if you guys do hear a little bit of that. If it becomes a problem, I can always edit it out. So yeah, Lou Cookie Mystery sock knit along. So since that's a work in progress, why don't I go ahead and share the rest of my works in progress with you guys. So let's see, this one. Oh, I'm so excited. So I haven't done as much crafting as I usually do in 2 weeks, but I have done a lot of knitting on this. So this is my Hito Fude cardigan that I'm knitting out of Madeline Tosh Light, TML. I'm like, is that right? Tosh Merino Light, TML. And it's kind of getting tangled because it's so big now that it's easy to get tangled in the yarn. Here is what I have. So this is the neck up here. Where's sleeve? And then the rest of the cardigan. Maybe I can show you from the back. How's that look? I'm really, really close. I'm really, really close to being done on this. So I've knit quite a bit of progress since I last showed you, because I was a couple inches past that ribbing band that you see last time I showed you, and you can tell I've knit quite a bit further. I am one lace repeat and a couple rows of ribbing away from binding off. So I have joined my third skein. And it's so funny because, look, I'm just like maybe 20 rows away from finishing. I will barely dip into this skein. So I will definitely get another project out of this yarn that I bought for this, because that's a lot of leftovers. I almost am like, man, maybe I should have knit the extra. I think I'm knitting the small size, and I'm like, maybe I should have knit the extra small size, because it maybe still would have fit, and I only would have used 2 skeins. But then again, you risk the maybe still fit. The reason I say that is because I haven't blocked this out yet, and it's very lacy, so it might grow. And if I made the extra small, I could have blocked it aggressively to fit. The small fits great now, so hopefully it doesn't block too. I won't try to aggressively block it, and hopefully it doesn't stretch too large. But I'm excited to get this off the needles. This is my first cardigan, and I'm really, really loving it. And I think it's going to be a great object for down here in Georgia. I should be able to wear it a lot more than I'm able to wear my other knits because it's so hot here. But yeah, this is a paid for pattern. It's less than $2. Knitting it on US size 4s. Yes. Which is 3.5 millimeter. I guess not. Okay, so a lot of my knitting, you can tell from the purple cable, a lot of my knitting I do on Knit Picks interchangeables, the nickel plated tips, and I only started knitting like 2 years ago, I think. Maybe it's not 2 years until this summer. I'm not sure if that's right. I don't know. Lizzie taught me to knit. I'm trying to think of when I met her. I think I met her almost 2 years ago. So, and she had told me these were a good, affordable starter set for needles. And so I bought them fairly recently, and my tips have the size on them. But her set is older because she's been knitting for a lot longer than me, and her tips don't say the size. She has to use her, like, you know, one of those needle gauges that tell you what size your needles are. So, so if you ever see me like, that's because it's on here. Which is really nice. I do like that I don't have to, otherwise I wouldn't be able to tell you guys what size needles I'm knitting on because I don't always remember. Okay, what else? Oh, so I was right in the sense that I did not think I was going to have enough yarn to keep knitting on my Princess of Hearts cardigan. So I showed you guys last episode that I had the main piece done here. It's a baby cardigan from this heirloom baby knits book by Deborah Newton. So I had this main piece finished already, and I was afraid I was going to run out of yarn. And I knit one sleeve, and I have stitches on waist yarn here. And I started the second sleeve, and that's how far I got, and I ran out of yarn. So I had to make a Knit Picks order. So I had to get another skein of yarn, and I think it's going to match up no problem. That's the cool thing about buying from big box stores, is normally the colors aren't too off. I won't really know until I join it if there's going to be a stripe or not. We'll see. But this will be enough to finish the rest of the cardigan, so I should be able to get along with that. This came in the mail yesterday, so I haven't gotten a chance to work on it yet. But this is the cardigan on the cover, and I'm knitting it out of Knit Picks Swish DK in the Sugar Plum colorway on US size 4s. And I have multiple sets of 4s. I think I might have 3 pairs of US size 4s, just because for some reason I end up doing a lot of knitting on size 4s. and I like to have lots of works in progresses. Lots of works in progress at a time. So I am a big fan of multiple needles, and that's why I like the Knit Picks interchangeable, because you can just buy the tips. I mean, you do have to buy the cables too, but I think the cables come in 2 packs. I don't remember, but yeah, I have a couple sets of tips for different sizes. Like, I know I have at least 3 sets of 4s, and I think I have like 2 6s as well, because that seems to be another size I knit with a lot. But yeah, I'm enjoying knitting that cardigan. I'll probably have it done by the next time I record. It knits up really quickly. I like knitting baby cardigans or baby anything because it's so small and so quick. It's very satisfying to knit. Before you know it, you're done. Oh, I love this vanilla tea. We have a Tivana store at our mall, and they have this herbal tea that's called Honeybush Vanilla, and I love it so much. It's like, I don't even know, but it's so good. It's so good. It's all I've been drinking lately. Anyways, what else am I working on? I got a little bit of progress done on my hidden gussets out of Penguin Soup Emperor sock in the Oogie Boogie colorway, which was part of the Nightmare Before Christmas Club. And I feel like Edward Scissorhands over here with all these needles. I'm knitting them on 2 24 circulars, 2 24-inch size 0 circulars. So there's all the tips that hang when I share both of them. And I'm knitting them parallel, so I probably doubled, like I was to here last time I showed you, so I've doubled them in the length. And I've started the stockinette portion. So there is this twisted rib, and then you start adding this stockinette portion, and eventually it will take over the whole hand at a diagonal. They're really cute. I still have not decided if I'm going to add fingers in them or not. I'll decide when I get there. But for now, I'm just enjoying the knit, and this is not, actually, this is an Emperor sock. This is Penguin Soup's Royal MCN. It's got cashmere in it. It's the merino cashmere nylon. It's so soft, and I keep working with it just like, this is a really nice yarn. And Penguin Soup, actually her new club just opened for signups. It's going to be Firefly, which I've never seen before. So, you best believe I'm joining the club. So, best believe I've already started watching Firefly. They have Firefly on Netflix, so I've started watching it, and I'm like 5 or 6 episodes in, and I'm hooked. The first episode was kind of long and drawn out, and I was like, I don't know if I'm really going to like this. But after watching the 2nd and 3rd episode, I was hooked, and I was like, what shenanigans are they going to get into next? You know, it is your kind of like cheesy sci-fi with like a western theme to it. And I was telling my husband, it might just be me, but it almost seems like it could be like Star Wars fan fiction in a sense that was brought to screen. I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with Star Wars. I just don't know why in my mind it makes me think of Star Wars fan fiction. It could just be me being retarded, not making any sense. Yeah, so I'm enjoying my Oogie Boogie knits, and gonna be signing up for the Penguin Soup Firefly Club. So, which she's calling the Shiny Club, which I still haven't really figured out what shiny means yet. They say it in the show a lot, but I'm not really getting the reference yet. But I'm sure I'll get there. And she's already declared that the self-striping is going to be a Jane's hat, which I've seen pictures of. It seems like a very iconic thing from the show, but I have not seen the episode with it yet, so I still don't get that reference yet either. But I'm sure I will. I'm sure I'll get there. And that's, I'm keeping it in my Wool Sunday jack bag. But yeah, that's all I have for works in progress. I haven't been doing all that much crafting this week, or this last 2 weeks, like I had said. So, moving on to finished objects. I did some sewing just some simple sewing. So that cardigan I'm making is for a baby, and so I also made these car seat covers. So it's just 2 pieces of flannel, pink flannel, and then I got like this chevron leopard print because the mama is really into leopard print. And then, so it's just 2 giant squares, you know, you sew them together inside out, flip them out, and then I just zigzagged them down at the seams. Can't really see it on this side, but you can on this side. Something's stuck there. But, and then you just sew these straps to the top of the blanket so that you can tie them to the top of a car seat, and the blanket will cover the car seat carrier. Which I've used a lot with Emily because she was born in the winter. When I have to take her to and from doctor's appointments, the wind chill is really bad, and I keep her bundled up as much as I can, but having this to really cover her car seat when we take her from the car to the buildings is really nice to kind of shelter her from that really cold wind or if it's raining. So since they were so helpful to me, I decided to make some for her. And the other cool thing about these is you can see folded in half like this. I could tie this around my neck and use it as a nursing cover as well. So I've really enjoyed mine that I got at my baby shower. So I made this one, and then I also made her another one that's zebra print with pink on the inside. So I don't have a pattern for that. I just kind of copycatted the gift that I had received that was also homemade. So I could probably just put the dimensions up in my show notes though if you guys are interested in them. So I'll go ahead and do that. My show notes are on my blog, mandobugcrafts.blogspot.com, or you can follow the link in the description of the YouTube video to get you there. So moving on to check it out. So check it out. I usually like to share something that's piqued my interest or caught my eye, but I haven't really had any of that going on this week. Unless I wanted to talk up Penguin Soup Yarn some more, which I think I do a good job of that every time I'm in love with her yarn anyways. So instead, I'm just going to go ahead and share some of my stash enhancement. I don't have a stash enhancement portion because I don't feel like I really purchased enough to have that kind of a section. And I remember that I created Check It Out to replace stash enhancement because I think I tried it in my first couple episodes and I decided to move it to Check It Out. But since that's what it originally was, I figured I'd share my stash enhancement here. Since I've recorded, my birthday is past and I'm a big old fat 26 years old. I don't feel this old. I don't. And I know it's a really good middle age, but I still feel in my early 20s. I do. Even with Emily, I don't feel 26 yet. I wonder if I'm ever going to get to an age where I actually feel like I am as old as I am. You know what I mean? Like maybe in my 50s my body will be hurting and I'll feel 50, but I don't feel my age right now. So let's see. When I had to order some more of that sugar plum yarn, I ordered some other yarn from Knit Picks as well. So I wanted to try out the Knit Picks Hawthorne, their fingering sock weight. It's 80% superwash fine Highland wool, 20% polyamide. And so I picked up, of course, the only color that had orange tones in it, and this is Sunnyside. And it's mostly like, I mean, it's showing up very true to color. I have a lot of natural light when I record, so most times things are very true to color. So yeah, it's mostly like this like pinkish orange color, but then there is some, I had to open the skein after I got it because I was like, where's the orange? I saw it because, you know, Knit Picks has the section where it's like a knitted swatch of the color, and this had orange in it, so you can see it gets a little like pinky purpley of an orange. And then but there is orange in it, and that really pops in its little knitted swatch. So I think these will make some great socks in the future. And so that's their kettle dyed Hawthorne, and I went ahead and picked up a skein of their, or wait, is it all kettle dyed? Maybe not. Maybe this is their multicolored hawthorn, and then this is their kettle dyed, because this actually says kettle dyed on it. And this is Wisp, and it's a tonal color, and I really like how bright it is. And like I said, this is showing up true to color. I'm getting good color today with the camera. This is very bright. This is very bright blue. It's soft and bright, and I've been looking to knit some socks with like cables and things where you want a lighter, more tonal, if not solid color to really show off the gorgeous design. So, and I didn't really have any sock yarn like that because I'm really into the crazy colors. So I picked up a skein of that. And then I also picked up some Lorna's laces, and this is the Soulmate base. So this is 55% superwash merino, 15% nylon, and 30% outlast, which is a viscose fiber. And this is what I'm talking about. I normally gravitate towards colors that are more variegated. I really love to see the different colors come together, but it doesn't lend itself to the more cable-y patterns. So, but this is really soft. I can't wait to work with this because I think it's going to make some really nice socks. And yes, I do plan on knitting a lot of socks in the future. So when I was purchasing yarn, that's what I had in mind. I was like, socks, 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 socks. I don't know why, but that's really what I've been enjoying knitting on, except for these past 2 weeks. I've really wanted to finish my cardigan, but other than that, normally it's like I just want to pick up some socks and knit on those. So I also got this is Lorna's Laces in the Shepherd Sock base, which is 80% wool, 20% nylon, superwash, and it is the Unicorn Parade colorway, which is not in my comfort zone at all, but I've just been really wanting some crazy colored socks. And of course it's got that section of orange, right? I can't let go of orange. It has to be in my knitting at all times. Not every project, but I need to have at least one orange project on the needles at a time. And honestly, if I counted, I really think I have like at least 2 or 3 projects on the needles that are orange. I just haven't been working on them. But then I also picked up, because I just spoiled the crap out of myself, some Malabrigo worsted. Is it just called Malabrigo worsted? Yeah. Malabrigo worsted in the Rhodesian colorway. This is a fat single ply that I plan on knitting some felted slippers with. So, of course it's orange. I'm very excited to try this out. I've never knit a felted item before, and I'm going to be trying that out for the Eat Sleep Knit knit-alongs, and I'm excited. I really am enjoying with these Eat Sleep Knit knit-alongs that there's things that I've never done before that are a part of them, and it's really kind of pushing me to broaden myself as a knitter, and so I've been enjoying that. And then I also picked up some Juniper Moon Farm Moonshine. This is 40% wool, 40% alpaca, 20% silk. And oh, this is going to make an amazing hat. I mean, I have thought about a cowl, but I think I really want to knit this into a hat. It is so soft. It's going to be so warm. And I am in love with this skein. I'm in love with this skein. Now I'm noticing I bought a lot of blue. That's weird. I'm wondering if it's because it's winter. Because I also picked up some more blue. This is Shibui Knits. This is, let's see, does it have a name? Oh, yeah, it's just linen. Shibui Knits linen. It's 100% linen, 246 yards for 50 grams. And this is the Cascade colorway. And I picked up a bunch of these, like 5, and I'm going to knit a tank top out of them. I've never knit with linen before, and so I'm interested to see how it turns out. I've already swatched with the yarn, and here is my little swatch. I don't like to do big swatches, so I just was like, what's the smallest possible swatch I can make so I can measure it to 1 inch instead of 4 inches. I know it's not as accurate, but I'm okay with that. And this is the swatch that I'm actually getting gauge with. I knit a couple rows with different sizes and ripped them out until I got about what I wanted. This was with the US 2, and I'm getting about 7 stitches per inch. And I'm thinking I'm going to knit this into the beekeeper's tank, so you might see that in the future. Linen is very light, very airy, very drapey, and like I said, this is after I washed and blocked it, so I'm very interested to see how it turns out. It's not very soft. It's got some roughness to it, so, but it is also kind of see-through, and that's why it's so light and airy. So it isn't going to be a tank top that you can just wear on its own. It's definitely going to have something underneath it, but I'm okay with that. You have to start your adventure with linen somewhere, right? So, and then the last few things I picked up is just some palette and some straw from Knit Picks. And this is going to become a Phoebe by Lydia Tresselt. I've crocheted one of these for a friend in the past, and honestly I want to make the whole set for Emily, one at a time. This can take many years, but since I already have Phoebe the fox, I wanted to go ahead and get the yarn to make one of those, and as I complete them I'll just order the yarn and the pattern for the next animal. So but yeah, I spoiled myself like crazy, and to be honest with you guys, that's not all I ordered. There's more on its way. So, I just have the order from Penguin Soup that I made. She dyed wool for the first time, and for spinning, and because obviously she's dyed wool yarn before, but wool fiber. I think it's British BFL is what she said, and I snagged myself up a braid, and then I also snagged myself up a skein of Balloon Room because it was on her sparkle base, and it's just bright, gorgeous colors, and I wanted a bright, sparkly sock. So, moving on to upcoming events. So, actually, this can kind of be a current event because it starts technically today. So, I had mentioned to you guys about the knit-along that I wanted to start hosting. And so, yeah, it starts today. I'll start a thread up in the Ravelry group so you can start posting your entries in there, and the official rules can be put up and everything. But a gist of the knit-along, it's going to be a double dip knit-along. So anything that you enter into a knit-along, you just get to enter it into mine as well. That's all you have to do. The only requirement is that, well, I guess there's 2 requirements, is that you submitted the project for the knit-along during my knit-along. So it can't be something that you submitted to a knit-along last month. It has to be that you finished it and submitted it to a knit-along sometime between March 1st and May 31st. You get as many entries as you want, but you can only win once. So if your name's drawn as the first winner, and then your name's drawn again, you don't get to win twice. You just get to win once. So for that, I have 2 prizes for sure, and depending on the level of activity, there will be more prizes added. But so far I have 2 skeins of sock yarn. These are both yarns that have been dyed. Well, I dyed one skein, and then Lindsay from the Knit Whim podcast dyed the other skein. And the yarn is from Wool to Die For. It's their platinum sock, which is an 80/20 superwash nylon. So this is the skein Lindsay dyed. It's showing up a little brighter red than it really is. It's a little bit darker than that. Maybe if I hold it about, yeah, it's still showing up. It's just slightly brighter on the screen than it is in real person. It's a very saturated red, and I think that's why it's looking brighter on the screen. But it's got some brown and some yellow flecks in it, and this is reskeined. So, and then the other skein is this one. This is the one I dyed, and it's reskeined as well, and it's like purple and pink with some very, very, very light lavender. So these are 2 prizes for sure for the knit-along, and like I said, depending on the level of activity, I'll be adding more prizes. So I like to hold knit-alongs that I can participate in, and so So far, the only knit-alongs that I'm participating in are the Eat Sleep knit-alongs. There are some other knit-alongs too that I'm looking at joining along in, so I'll let you know as I am knitting what knit-alongs I'm participating with that would work for my double dip cal as well. And also, I'd like in the thread for you guys to share knit-alongs that you know are going on right now that you're participating in, like you're planning to submit to them so that you can also submit to me. We'll get a nice little thread going with that. So, yeah. If you guys have any questions, let me know. We'll talk about it in the thread on Ravelry. So, normally, these last few episodes, I've kind of just been having some personal chat at the end of my podcast, so I decided I should just go ahead and open up another segment called Let's Chat. So this section is going to be more of personal chat. It may or may not be craft related. That way, if you guys who aren't interested, you can just dip out about the time this segment starts and I can see you in a future episode. Or if you're interested, you can stick around and I can share a little bit of more personal stuff with you guys. So, I just started going back to work, and that's why I haven't really had a lot of crafting time. Is not this past week, but the week before that was my first day back at work, and it's a rough one, you guys. Seriously, I knew it wasn't going to be easy having Emily and then having to go back to work, but it really is proving to be difficult. I'm hoping it gets easier as I go along, but oh my goodness. The hardest part is when she doesn't sleep through the night. And I mean, most nights she does pretty good, where she'll sleep for like 4 or 5 hours and only wake up to feed and then go back to sleep. But there was one night this week where she refused to sleep, and I don't think I got her to bed until 1 in the morning, and she was up again in an hour, and then down for a little bit, and up again, and then down until I had to go to work. Well, I don't leave for work, but I start getting ready for work at 5. So I was dead exhausted. So between being really tired at work, coming home, taking care of her, and just regular house things like cooking and cleaning, it doesn't leave a lot of time left for crafting. So I really get my craft time in on the weekends when she's sleeping. So it's a lot more sparse than I'd like it to be, but that's just how it goes. My father-in-law is visiting. He came in yesterday and he's staying with us for a week, so it's really nice to have him with us. I've really been enjoying that. It helps to have someone else help you take care of the baby. She's 2 months old tomorrow, so I'm not really sure how to count it. She was born on December 30th, and so you'd think that you'd count on the 30th of every month, but there's only 28 days in February. So is she 2 months old March 1st? I'm not really sure. I know she'll be 9 weeks March 2nd. So I'm hoping the more she gets into it, eating, sleeping, active, non-active kind of a schedule, it should be easier on me, but goodness. But also with this Let's Chat section, I wanted to be able to bring up a talking point for you guys to be able to chat with me in the thread about a subject. So something that has really been a big part of my life ever since I had Emily has been fitness, getting back into shape. So I was watching Holly of the Swift Knits podcast a couple months ago, and she had been talking about the C2 5K app, the Couch to 5K, and so I knew immediately when it was time for me to start working out again after I had Emily, when it was safe for me after I've healed, that I was going to try that app, and I have been. I'm about 3 weeks into it, and I'm really enjoying it. It's a nice little app that has the workouts already set up for you. You literally just open the app, and it's free. I think they have some paid for services, but I just used the free part. You literally just open it up and press, the workout that you want, like week 1, day 2, and that's the one you're on. You just press start, and it tells you like begin jogging, and then it times you, and then begin running, and you do intervals of jogging and running, and it changes each week to accommodate your progression. And I'm the kind of person, I was very active before I was pregnant, so had I not used this app to start trying to get back in shape, I think I would have just overdone myself. I think I would have tried to go on out and jog a whole mile, and I probably would have ended up pushing myself too far. So I'm really enjoying this app. And so for the conversation this week, I want to know, what's your guys' favorite workout? What is your go-to workout that you like to stay in shape? Or how often do you like to work out, and what works best for you? Or do you have any fitness apps that you'd like to recommend? I'm always up for finding new things and new suggestions. So just go ahead and let me know. Also, let me know what you guys think of this segment, because it is new. I'm not really sure if it's something you're interested in seeing. So just give me some feedback. Alright, other than that, I hope you guys made some pretty good progress on your crafts during this episode, and I hope that you do not regret spending some of your day with me. I hopefully will see you guys next time we record. Bye!